FitMC. What's going on, everybody? It's FitMC, and today's video is a little different. I'm actually doing an interview format today because with me, my guest, Chase, was actually one of the original December 2010 2B2T players, one of the originals. Now, on 2B2T, he was known as Wackydeli66, but I'll let him properly introduce himself. So, Chase, how are you doing today?
Doing good, man. My name's Chase, and it's also known as Wackydeli66, Purple Hat, and yeah, like Fit was saying, I was one of the original spawns 2 days after 2B2T launched.
Wow, that's crazy. Just being able to actually talk to someone who was there for the original days. Like, I have a lot of questions for you, and I'm sure a lot of the fans that are listening right now have a lot of questions as well. So I'm just going to get right into it. So first of all, how did you discover 2B2T? I mean, I know you said you were there from the early days, so how did you discover the server?
Well, one thing to note is that before the server was actually being posted heavily on the chans, I'd say that didn't even start until late March, maybe early April. When the server was first released, it was only advertised really on FacePunch, which I was never on there. But I was sifting through V one day, and there was every day there'd be an OP who would he would post public Minecraft servers on a list of 10, just new stuff that was made up. And 2B2T was listed as one of the rules-free type of server. So obviously that piqued me and my friend's interest. So I only had Minecraft for maybe about a month at that time period. So me and a few friends who went to high school with, we used to run amok on other servers and, grief some things. And but we wanted something more stable, something we could actually play on, not worry about being banned. So it was December 22nd, and we all spawned in.
Wow, that's crazy. So, of course, I'm sure the question that a lot of my fans have, and the one that I have, is what was Spawn like in December of 2010? So since you were on, like, in the first few days, like, what was Spawn like?
It was, well, to be honest, it was kind of just like any other new world spawn. Aside from, like, creeper holes, nerd poles, just some spilled water here and there. But honestly, it was nothing different. I've seen pictures of it now, and it's pretty insane how much it's changed over the years. Because originally it was like kind of a little island. There was an island with a body of water around that, and I want to say to the south there was a ice, a snowy biome. But really, I'm going off 8 years of memory here. But no, it was really nothing too different. It was peaceful. There was really nobody waiting there to kill you at all times. And we have initially, my friend Indico, him and a couple other people, they actually started building tunnel systems that led out from spawn about 500 blocks to the east, I want to say.
Uh-huh.
And originally they were used as like a type of protection in case we died at night and we didn't feel like, dealing with enemies and whatnot. But that changed totally during the raids. When the raids started from B and V, they were pretty much used just to get out of spawn. Like, people would just hop down there and just run as fast as they could. Uh-huh. So because people from FacePunch would watch the threads on B and V, so they would know when new people were joining, and if they hadn't seen you before, you were dead.
Funny how little changes over almost a decade.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
That's crazy, yeah. So now, do you remember having, like, your first base or, like, basing with anyone? Like, what was it like?
Well, originally it was me, and I actually wrote down their names. I can't remember them off the top of my head. But we had Indico, my friend Dylan4755, Yonaga, Coyote999, and Dr. Evil101. Those are all my high school friends. And we actually started a base out on it was a little island out of nowhere, and I was a total dork over the TV show Lost at that time period because it like just ended.
Uh-huh.
And we ended up building this huge underground base called the Hatch, and that was like kind of like our main base. But eventually we went back to spawn to the tunnels, and we kept digging straight through there, and we founded this place called Fort Longcat. And it was it was based on a fort during old 4chan raids on a game called Second Life. I don't know if you've heard about that.
I remember. We can't say the name because this is a family-friendly interview, but
yeah,
I remember it. Yep.
yeah, we can't say the name of the group,
Mm-hmm.
but that was around like 2006 or 8 or something like that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And it was way too much fun to troll in that game. The things you could do with the command scripts were just so fun. But anyway, there was this their headquarters was called Fort Longcat, and we based it on that. And we started building this giant Longcat statue with like gold and diamonds encrusted in it, and it went from bedrock level like to about 20 blocks below surface. And we were just about to get it done, and then B&V started showing up. It got griefed, and eventually they built a second one. So I don't know where. I mean, I know where it would be, but it's probably long gone with from what I've seen how Spawn looks. Because how big is the Spawn crater now? Like,
Oh man, like Housemaster, I think can spawn you up to 2,000 blocks away now. Like just because that's how bad it's gotten.
oh geez, wow. So yeah, I don't know if that would originally still be there. It was further than that, I'd say, but it was underground. It was completely like an underground base, and it connected to the Spawn tunnels. And this, I'm talking about the second Fort Longcat.
Mm-hmm.
That one was massive. It was a giant, like kind of like it looked like a toilet paper tube. It was just cylindrical with the giant statue in the center of it, with branching rooms out from that. And there was hit lists there, people that B wanted gone, people that V wanted gone, places to grieve coordinates to check out, stuff like that. Just kind of your usual base that would be around nowadays, I assume.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I feel bad. There's a lot of my viewers that have no idea what Longcat is. All those
I
poor
know,
souls.
Dude, those are some 2008 memes. Even before that, I want to say 2006.
Yeah. Oh man, we're definitely like 30-year-old boomers at this point, aren't we?
Yeah,
Just like...
I know, right? Reminiscing on memes of old.
Yeah, they just don't make memes like they used to.
Oh no, definitely not. Pools closed and all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah, good times.
Yes.
So, I know you were telling me about like the Tunnel Snakes, Fort Longcat, and some of your high school friends you were playing on the server with, but do you remember any other experiences with other players on the server at the time? Like, since it was the early days, it wasn't a famous Minecraft server. It was just like a normal anarchy server.
It was pretty basic.
Were there any? Were there like any players that stood out at the time?
Well, there was a few, and originally when we first joined in, we normally kept ourselves for the first few months, and we mostly just spent our time building the hatch and Fort Longcat 1.0, stealing stuff. This is kind of an interesting one, and I may totally be wrong since I'm going off 8 years of memory here, but from how I remember it, it could have been an early camp face punch, like the original camp face punch.
Uh-huh.
But we used to actually go in there and steal food and stuff a lot, and just wreck their chests and whatnot. But I might be wrong. It could be totally wrong on that. But some other people that I remember with was Pop Bob, obviously, big name since I've been watching your videos. He originally started out on 4chan side, but then he kind of switched over to Face Punchers, and then down the road, I guess he turned on them, but he was a kill on sight target after he switched over. And I'm trying to think of names. I think there was a guy named by the name of Glint. I don't know, that could be wrong. There was Meowser and Fury Desert or something like that. And on Face Punch, I want to say there was a guy named by the name of like Raptor Assassin or something like that, and he had a base out in the middle of nowhere. I'm pretty sure Pop Bob might have griefed that, but really, I don't know. The only people that we really took notice to was ourselves. Like, we just kind of kept a tight-knit group. We had talked to some other people and stuff, but mostly the people from 4chan that I remember was Glint, Meowsers, and Desert Fury.
Uh-huh. That's crazy. Yeah, just since in this day and age we know so little about the early days, like, it's actually pretty fascinating to me to hear all these early stories and, like, some of these player names.
Oh, like, yeah, it's totally different now. Like, I didn't even think the server would still be around. Like I was saying earlier, it's just a Minecraft server. You didn't think it would be around for like 8+ years and have so much history about the goings on. But when I saw that you guys didn't have almost anything about the original days, I was like, maybe I should fill them in on some things that we did.
Yeah. Oh, I should put you in touch with Sato86, who does the timeline for 2B2T. I'm sure
Oh, definitely.
he would love to hear from you. But
I think I saw your video on that, so yeah, definitely.
yeah, because any way we can add historical like accuracy would definitely be a plus for sure.
No doubt. No
But
doubt.
now I'm trying to think. So since you did leave many years ago, like what year did you stop playing 2B2T?
Well, my main account, Wackydeli66, he hasn't touched server ground since like March 2011. That was when I want to say that was when the Pika client came out, and I was kind of nervous about using my main account on something like that, and I should have been because my account got leaked and I had to change all my stuff
Oh
on there. But
man.
I was using a lot of alts at that time.
So it was called Pika Client?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I like I said, 8 years of memory here. So
Yeah.
short-term memory is like tremendously terrible.
Uh-huh.
But I
Like,
want to say it was called Client.
what were the hacked clients like in your times? Like this was what, March like 2011?
Yeah,
Like
March 2011.
what were the hacked
And
clients like back then? Because what we have now is pretty advanced, but I
oh,
gotta.
they are so advanced. Yeah, I was looking at a few of them, and they're kind of crazy now. We had basic commands. God mode was a thing then. Apparently, it's not now.
Mhm.
Um, which I was actually kind of surprised that. Like, why don't they have God mode anymore? Like, what happened with that?
Oh, well, I know for Housemaster, he runs anti-cheat plugins. Like, even though it's an anarchy server still, he
Hmm.
tries to eliminate a lot of those hacks that would just be way too overpowered, like,
Oh, okay, I see.
Nuker and God and
Yeah,
Fly.
Nuker was around back then too, except like instead I've noticed that Nuker kind of just makes blocks disappear slowly. Back then it was instantaneous. Like you could just bore holes through the ground that were, 30 by 30 blocks. Just it could decimate builds entirely. There was the speed hack was called Speedy Gonzalez, I want to say.
Hmm.
And there wasn't too much though. They're kind of similar nowadays, where the names will pop up in the upper right hand corner. They were like that, and you had to. I don't even remember how to open the client menu and click on anything. To be honest, it's been so long.
Uh-huh.
But I'm pretty sure if I go through my hard drives, I probably still have an old build of Pika client on there somewhere.
Oh man, that'd be fun to take a look at just to
Oh,
see what it was
definitely.
like. Yeah.
Yeah.
But since you did leave years ago, were you surprised to hear about 2B2T becoming somewhat famous on YouTube?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, yours was the first videos that I saw even mentioning the server, and I was like, "Hold up, was that?" I had to like call my friends. I was like, "Wasn't that server that we used to get on back in the day?" And after I confirmed that it was, it's just really weird because back then it was, it was just another server. There was nothing really too super special, and until 4chan wanted to take it over, that added some fun into the mix. It made it a little different than just sneaking to someone's base and taking their stuff. It was pretty boring back then, to be honest. There just wasn't that many people, and I never thought that it would be around today, let alone become this popular and renowned, which is kind of cool since I can legitimately say I was one of the first people on the server.
Yeah.
But
And it's crazy to think just how many people from your era not only don't play 2B2T anymore, but they just up and quit Minecraft. Like,
yeah, it's really weird. I figured you would have been in touch with somebody from back then. All my friends don't even play Minecraft anymore. I'm probably the only one who still plays, but I only play modded, really, like heavily modded.
yeah. I mean, there's like a couple 2B2T players that I have spoken to in the past from your era, like XCC2 and like
Okay, that name's familiar.
yeah, Zarvyar as well. So there's, a few from back in the day, but it's just I don't think any of us were expecting for 2B2T to blow up the way that it did on YouTube. Like it
Oh,
came
no way.
completely out of left field.
Yeah, especially, I mean, YouTube's a big platform nowadays, so there's a lot of Minecraft YouTubers out there, but to be able to say that there's a server up from back in 2010, it's pretty incredible to see that it's still even around. And same map, same everything. It's kind of mind blowing, to be honest, that data is just still around, floating out there.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that's part of what captured so many people's imaginations is just the fact that the map is so old. for
Right,
sure.
exactly. That definitely pulls some people in,
So
if you can even get in with
yeah,
the
if you yeah.
there's a queue now or something like that.
Yes,
That you,
it's you live by the queue, you die by the queue these
oh,
days.
jeez, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, you
That
know.
wasn't around back then.
Oh man. But now, so do you still play? I know you said you play modded. Do you really play vanilla anymore, or you mainly just kind of drifted away
I
from
ke-
that?
I keep up with the vanilla updates, and I think what they're doing is pretty cool. Like, I mean, it's taken them forever to get some good content out for vanilla. I think
Uh huh.
it's just I feel like it's just been slow with it, and that's kind of why I drifted more towards. I think it was 1.7.10. There was a lot of mods for that build, and I kind of drifted towards just playing modded versions because I like having a lot to do. I like having set goals and stuff like that, and so I think modded adds more goals than what they were providing in vanilla.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they chose to update so slowly because they didn't want to change the game too fast. But
Oh, right, yeah,
at the same
definitely.
time, though, it's like it caused so much stagnation. Like having to wait
Hmm.
1 year between updates is a bit much, you know?
Exactly. I am looking forward to the 1.14 update, though. I think that's a much needed update with villagers since they haven't really done anything with them.
Yeah, it's like they've just been a beta feature ever since 2011
Yep,
at this point. Yeah, so
exactly.
it's very nice that they're actually out and about and doing things and have better AI.
I want to see how that affects 2B2T, to be honest. So I'm waiting to see how all the crossbows in there and a lot of the new blocks and stuff. That should be interesting.
Yeah, and especially now that like crafting different variants of blocks depends on other items, like what was it the stone
Oh,
cutter is
stone
it?
wheel.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
stone
stone
cutter
wheel.
for yeah, stone cutter. And there's like the mill, like the grinding mill, and you can take enchantments off of items and get experience for that.
Oh yeah, this it's definitely gonna be a change, like a game changer, especially for 2B2T. It's gonna be nuts.
No doubt. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I want to get back into 2B2T. And I just I see it and I'm like, I haven't done this in years. You know, like literal years.
Uh huh.
I had just got out of high school when I first started playing on that. So it's just weird to see it still around.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty surreal for sure. But so before we wrap up this interview today, I mean, I know you have a YouTube channel. Do you want to tell everyone what the name of your YouTube channel is?
Yeah, definitely. It's called Chaser Plays, and I've been focusing mostly on Yu-Gi-Oh box opening videos. So I just like buy booster boxes, open those up, see what cool cards I get, and make money off of it, and repeat the process. But
Nice.
I also do some Let's Plays on there. I haven't in a while. I was playing like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door for a while, and a game called Project Zomboid, which is pretty fun. It's a zombie survival game. It's kind of like a Sims 1 style graphics and everything, but it's like super realistic in the aspects of zombie survival. It's pretty cool.
That sounds pretty dope. Yeah, I'll put a channel link down in the description of the video so my fans can find you. But that's pretty awesome. Anything else you want to say to the fans or the viewers before we end it today?
Yeah, in 2B2T, it's kill or be killed. That's pretty much it.
Simple words. I like it, my friend. Well, I just want to say thank you, Chase, for coming on today and talking about the original days of 2B2T. Because, like we said, we have very little information about the early days. So, anyone that comes forward to contribute is always a valuable asset. So, thank you very much for joining today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm happy to fill those gaps in.
That's awesome. And yeah, all you listening, remember if you liked the video, make sure to subscribe. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, which are both in the description down below. But thanks for tuning in today, everyone. There'll be more 2B2T content on the way, especially now that Housemaster is finally updating the 1.13. So take it easy, everyone, and we'll see you next time.